To the Australian now, where the biggest splash reads, keeping coal, state sees light. One of Australia's biggest coal power stations in Victoria's Latrobe Valley is set to stay open for 4 more years, amid fears of devastating electricity shortages in an extraordinary U-turn for the state Labor government's renewable energy only blueprint. A decision to keep coal in the power system for longer underscores Australia's volatile transmission from fossil fuels to green power, even as Federal Energy Minister Chris Bowen insisted a move to double the amount of renewable energy by the end of the decade remained on track. Mate, when are you going to give up on that line? Nobody is agreeing with you, and they're the ones running the energy companies. So nobody's listening to you anymore. And when Victoria, the most devoted state in the country to your renewable energies dream, dominated by Labor left, is actually turning around and saying, so we're going to have to keep coal up and running for an extra 4 years. Watch that drag out, by the way. Let's replay this clip in 4 years and see if it's been closed by then. You can bet your bottom dollar they'll be extending it once more.
I love this. Coal is unreliable and unaffordable, and we're going to need it for a lot longer than we thought. Put those two things together. The other thing in tomorrow's Australian, there's a story hidden away that 5 solar farms in regional Victoria have been told to shut down because of bushfire risks. So you've got these 2 stories in the paper tomorrow. Coal extended for at least another 2, 3, 4 years in Victoria, while solar farms, which are supposed to be supplying all the power, are ordered to be switched off because of bushfire risks. Chris Bowen just would be loving this.
I know. And to make matters worse for Labor, we read also on the front page of the Australian, debt blowout worst in developed world. Australia has recorded the sharpest increase in public debt in the developed world, with government liabilities as a proportion of national output growing almost 4-fold over the past 2 decades. Of course, we can't blame them for a 4-fold increase after that many decades, but they're the ones holding the conch shell while this is making the news. It's not a good look when you're looking at a election in just a matter of months now.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you spend an extra $347 billion. What do you know? The budget blows out.
Oh, no.
But over in the Townsville Bulletin, a council puts a pin in jumping castles. There is a ban on bouncing. Townsville Council has taken the extraordinary step of banning jumping castles in council parks and venues in response to changes made by the state's safety watchdog. But Townsville amusement rides operator says local businesses were blindsided by the move, labelling it un-Australian. I cannot tell you how many birthday parties I had on a jumping castle. I think it is outrageous that the kids of Townsville will not get to experience that.